Hey everyone, welcome to Popular Cruising. I'm your host Jason Leppert, here with an interview of AmaWaterways co-founders Kristin Karst and Rudi Schreiner to discuss the state of river cruising amid the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic and beyond. To start, if you haven't already done so, please remember to subscribe to our channel while hitting that bell icon to get all our latest cruise review and preview videos. And also please consider becoming one of our most loyal supporters at our Patreon account, where you can receive bonus behind-the-scenes content as well as cool logo merchandise. Well, thank you for taking this opportunity. I really appreciate the time.
Oh, we appreciate any opportunity, right?
So first off, what is the current status of AmaWaterways river cruise operations, and is the entire fleet up and running again?
So only the Christina is currently up and running, as you know, cruising the Rhine River for our German speaking guests from Germany, Switzerland, Holland, and Belgium. For everything else, because we heavily depend on our guests from North America, we have suspended our river cruise sailings until October 15 this year. But tomorrow we will go into the next round of suspension, and we will inform our travel advisor partners starting tomorrow morning. And this will be until October 30 this year. 31st, okay. Yes, Halloween, right. Now, the first suspensions were announced in March. And since then, our teams have worked very, very well together with our travel partners to keep them updated, to be as flexible as possible with all the questions that are coming in. We have opted to offer 115% future cruise credit. Of course, if the client requests a refund, then we also offer the cash refund. We are up to date with both the cash refunds and the future cruise credits. Everyone wants to travel again in the future. The pent-up demand is there, the pent-up demand is building. And we always have updates on our website so that everyone is informed.
Briefly, as you get ready to book your cruise, we recommend making your reservation through our sponsor, Fairy Godmother Vacations, who will take care of all your trip planning absolutely for free, adding even more value to your already exciting river cruise. To receive your free quote, click on the link here or in the description box, or use the traditional contact information displayed below. So what do you think it'll take for Americans to be able to come aboard again? And you talked about the data a little bit, but when do you think that might be?
That's a very good question. Right now, the EU is evaluating every 2 weeks all the countries which are allowed to enter the EU. And they measured it by new cases, percentage of new cases by country. So the US is not allowed. Canadians and Australians are allowed to come, but Australians are not allowed to leave Australia. And Canadians up until recently had to go back to a 2-week quarantine on the way back, but it, I think, has changed now.
No, it hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't changed. Okay, so Canadians still have to go into quarantine when they come home. Yeah. What's happening in Europe right now is every country is starting to change away from the EU and doing their own policy. So Hungary just announced yesterday or 2 days ago that they're closing off the country completely starting September 1. So basically the Danube, you cannot cruise on the Danube into Hungary anymore, starting September 1. What has happened in the past several weeks is the COVID-19 cases in Europe started going up again. In certain places in Spain, in France, in Belgium, Netherlands, and so on. So everything is really on a watch from today until tomorrow and so on. So nobody really knows what will be happening in a week or so.
In the meantime, what health and safety protocols are being implemented on the current charters?
So we always try to turn challenges into opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So we have to sail with less than 100 guests for right now. So that's what we are doing on board AmaKristina.
And normally we have about 160 just to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to sail with under 100.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, we work very closely with the local governments and organizations to always keep the protocol completely, comply with it, but even more to make sure that really there is no corona case on board, and knock on wood, there hasn't been. So the protocols seem to work. Our crew is required to wear face coverings all the time, while the guests only need to wear them in public areas. That means when they go back to their stateroom, when they come to the dining room, in the dining room, once they are seated, they can take them off. When they come to the lounge, public area, once they are seated, they can take them off, because we have built plexiglass dividers. You probably have seen this picture, right? You wrote an article. We have plexiglass dividers between the different sitting areas. We have installed them in different spots of the ship. Hand sanitizers. All of this cleaning is done really, I mean, with a very rigid, in a very rigid way. And of course, we measure temperatures every morning. The guests like to have the temperature taken. So it's not like we have a hospital environment, not at all. I mean, everyone is having actually fun to do it. At the same time, everyone knows they're very, very safe. We have added a new option for riverview dining, private riverview dining. That means room service for any guests who prefer to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner in the privacy of their stateroom. And some people take advantage of it, and it's actually kind of nice when the castles, the vineyards, the beautiful cities are passing by, and you are enjoying your meal, and you have a good glass of wine. And obviously everything is online under AmaWaterways.com/protocols. There you can find the latest. So the feedback of the guests has been actually very good. Everyone has been very cooperative, very respectful. It hasn't diminished from the experience at all, especially on the sun deck, where with the good weather we had in Europe, everyone is free to move around. Everyone enjoys it very much. There have been lots of videos in the German-speaking social media. German-speaking, I don't know if you understand a little bit of German, but we'll be happy to send them over to you.
Nice.
And so our guests have a wonderful time. And to be honest, the German guests, when they come on board, it's this wow. They say they have never seen such a beautiful ship, river cruise ship, as the AmaKristina is.
Yeah.
So they truly take full advantage of it right now.
That's also what happened. Initially, we had an agreement to start July 5 and end October, at the end of October. And now this was extended until through November, December, all the way through the new year. Yeah, so demand in Germany has been very strong, response has been very strong, and many of the guests are rebooking again for a second or even a third cruise.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So pretty much October, pretty much every departure is at the limit with 100 guests. Yeah.
That's great. So how long do you realistically think these new health and safety guidelines will have to be in place before some degree of normalcy returns? And do you expect any of the new protocols to continue beyond the pandemic?
I mean, my view on it is that I'm already looking into ship design for the future. We are remodeling 2 of the ships this year, the Amabella and the AmaVerde. We were planning to do it at the end of the season. Now we have much more time, and my view on it is to really go away completely from the buffet and have all meals served. What that means is really rebuilding the restaurant setup, rebuilding also the kitchen, and my thought is more on no buffet, but also maybe show kitchen stations.
Mm.
Yeah, so besides and that's what we are planning to do right now with the first two ships. So I think this can be a long-term effect. I see that way. If I go to a restaurant in the US, yeah, I order my breakfast. I don't have a buffet. Only at the hotel I have a buffet. But if at the regular nice restaurant I sit down, I have a breakfast menu and I order off the menu. And I think that's going to be also the future. So there will be changes. I think very important is going to be outside areas, fresh air, balconies. 80% of our staterooms have balconies. Yeah, and so we have a ton of space on the top deck, more dining possibly outside, and so on. So I think it will change. Yeah, and I mean it has changed every year, but now we will see some more rapid changes coming up. How long will the whole thing last? That's a very good question. Yeah. I don't think anybody can answer that question. Yeah. It will depend on the first vaccines, when they will be available. Probably prior to that, they will have better medication before the first vaccines are out. I mean, there are already a couple of vaccines in the market. I'm not in the market, but I think the Russian military has developed one. Yeah, and I suppose the Chinese also already have a vaccine out there. But we'll see when the first vaccines will come. There is no assurance when the whole thing will restart. There's no assurances. We hope that by March next year we'll be cruising with our entire fleet. That's usually for us the start of the season is around mid to the end of March. We hope that by then it will be pretty much over. We hope, but again, like I said, there's no guarantee for that either.
Sure.
It seems actually that also guests are much more concerned about the risk of being quarantined, and of course that's what's currently happening.
Sure.
To prevent our guests to come over than the experience itself, right? I mean, they feel, and as we have proven with AmaKristina, it is safe when you are on board. Airlines have proven it is safe to fly. Yeah. It is just those regulations that are imposed. You know, they have to get lifted, and at one point they will.
Yeah. It's all the $1 million questions, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So outside of Americans eventually returning on board, what is AmaWaterways next looking forward to? Are there any new ships and itineraries?
We have currently basically 3 new ships under construction. Yeah, we are finishing the AmaSiena, which is a little delayed due to COVID-19. It was supposed to be ready sometime in July. It's still in the works. We have the AmaLucia. So those ships are both coming next year on Rhine-Main-Danube area. And then we have the AmaDahlia for Egypt. The AmaDahlia will be starting in September 2021, doing very, very well already booking-wise. And it's going to be a 7-night cruise, round trip Luxor, Aswan, Luxor. So those are the new things. Back in April, just about a month before COVID-19 was, before everything froze, Kristin and I were supposed to go on another exploration cruise, and I cannot quite tell you where, but we were supposed to look at another river at another continent. And then in January, last January actually, after our meeting in Europe on a Magna, after our company meeting, Kristin and I, we flew to Senegal and we went on a Gambia river cruise just to see what's going on there. And afterwards, we continued to Ivory Coast in Ghana. So Gambia, eventually, it's not something we are looking forward in the next couple of years, but it's on the list. Yeah, it was an interesting area, an interesting itinerary. Everything in Gambia is around Kunta Kinte Island, and so on. So it was really just a unique destination, beautiful people, great, friendly, nice area, but eventually in the future we might be doing something on there.
Yeah.
Always looking at new destinations, always looking at new itineraries.
That's exciting. Very cool.
If I could add this, because going back to one of the questions that you asked before, new things that we do, when our guests book our air with us, then we provide the airport transfer. And we have now really switched over to exclusive transfers. So if a couple arrives, then we provide one car limousine for the couple. If a family arrives together, one van for the family, but we are not provide a bus or match up all the guests that arrive on the same flight and transfer them over to the ship. So that is gone.
So Rudi, since I know you're the architecture design guru, do you have any of your latest design sketches you can tease, or do you think also there might ever be a sister ship to the AmaMagna?
I mean, one thing I mentioned already to you was about the whole restaurant idea right now. Yeah, I'm also the last couple of days actually heavily involved with our corporate chef in putting new menus together and actually cooking and tasting things. Yeah. But you know, I think COVID-19 will change a lot across the globe in many structures, environments, and so on. It will probably change a lot on the shore excursion side, on the ship side. We are looking into all different things. Is there going to be an AmaMagna too? I mean, I'm just looking over at the other desk here, and there's a big package there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of an AmaMagna 2 package.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so we have been talking about it for a while. We actually had somehow plans to possibly do something for 22. Right now things are again on hold, and you know, there's a lot in the future being planned. One thing I believe, once this is over, river cruising will be booming. Yeah, booming experience and so on. And people are looking at the small ship adventures. One thing you get on a river cruise, and you have been on the ships, you really do get double the leisure time on a river cruise than you get any other means of transportation in Europe. Yeah, if you go by bus, by train, by car, whatever you do, here you go to bed at night. Yeah, you wake up the next morning in a different city. You step off the ship and you're in town. Yeah, and you physically don't waste any time on rush hour traffic, on driving along freeways which are blocked, sound blocked, and so on. So you really you don't have to pack, unpack. And that I think that experience, also the fresh air, the small group environment, the outside, yeah, makes it something which will come back roaring as soon as this whole thing is over.
Yeah.
And even the AmaMagna as a ship is really the double whiz, where you can keep so well your social distance, can sit in so many different places, all the different libraries, the 4 different restaurants, the bar areas, all of this. This is a very attractive ship when everything comes back, even more now in the current times.
Yeah. Well, it's a pleasure to catch up with you both, and I can tell you we're all super excited to get cruising again. So in time we will.
Yeah, we cannot wait, right?
Yeah.
And so what would be your first cruise when you can go again?
Oh man, honestly, anything, anywhere, any place, I'll go. Yeah, just get me on a ship, right?
Yeah.
What about you?
You know, actually, we are enjoying our time here in Malibu.
Yeah. The weather's been great in California. I'm down in San Diego, so it's great.
It has been beautiful. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we last year I mean, Kristin travels probably normally about 60% of the time. I do about 50% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we really I mean, we have a house in Westlake Village, one in Malibu, and we go between those two.
Yeah.
But we have really moved now into Malibu, and usually 5:30 or so, I take my fishing poles and I go in front of the house. I sit down at the sunset and I catch me a couple of fish for dinner.
Nice.
So, you know, next trip is probably for us the one we missed in April. That's on our list, and that's like this new exploration. I'm just waiting to really be able to get out and fly somewhere.
Well, thanks again. It's a pleasure talking with you both.
It always is, Jason. Thank you so much.
Jason,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you would, please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel while hitting that bell icon to be notified of new videos. Watch our other ones and visit popularcruising.com.